Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Things Lifestyle Podcast. I am your host Tay, or welcome if you are new here. I hope everyone is doing well, healthy, and in good spirits. Welcome to episode 5, and cheers to staying consistent. I know I've been saying that like the past couple episodes, but I'm really proud of myself for staying consistent and trying to be on time with these episodes every week. Just a few things before we get started. Don't forget to follow the podcast on where you're listening to your podcast so you can get the notification of when I upload. And leave me a star rating if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And also on Apple Podcasts, please write me a review. I would really appreciate it, and it helped me out so much. Thank you for everyone that is leaving me reviews. I'm getting a good amount of reviews, and I'm so happy. So thank you to everyone that has left me a review. We're going to get into this episode, so I'm going to start off with a little weekend recap. So I had a good weekend. Last weekend, I went to San Antonio. Like I mentioned, I went to Six Flags, and I went to a bar, and I went out to eat. It was like a quick weekend trip, but I had fun. Six Flags was cold. Unfortunately, it's crazy because the day before we went, it was sunny. The day after, it was sunny and warm. It was just that one day it was cloudy and windy as heck. The wind was crazy. So it was very unfortunate. I was freezing. And I hate being outside for that long. And that's literally, I was a trooper because I am not one for the cold. I don't like being out in the cold. I'm not it. But literally, as soon as I got out the car and I purchased my ticket online, I pressed that confirm payment button and I felt that wind. I was about to say, bump this and go back to the hotel. But I was like, well, it's my first time at Six Flags. I came here for this. I'm just going to try to enjoy it. We were there all day. Like I said, I was a trooper because I stayed all day. Unfortunately, because it was so windy, all the rides weren't going because of the wind. So I didn't get to get on all of the roller coasters that I wanted to. I got to get on a couple, which were fun. The roller coasters that I did get on were fun, but some of them, they weren't going, and I was wondering why, but they said if it's too windy, the roller coaster, if you get to the top, it'll get stuck. So it was actually a Mardi Gras theme at Six Flags, which was cool. So they had a parade, and they were throwing beads off of the floats. That was pretty cute. And then they had different booths where they were making gumbo, jambalaya, and all that stuff. So I had the gumbo. It was okay. They gave gumbo and cornbread. It needed a little more spice. It needed some more spice to it. With stuff like that, you need a little kick, So I wish it had a little more of a kick, but it was okay. Of course, at the end, every time I leave a theme park, I always got to get a funnel cake and a cotton candy. That's just me. I love it. Always. Every time I leave a theme park, a fair, anything like that, I'm like, where's the funnel cakes? Where's the cotton candy? I need that. Okay. So, I got that before we left, but it was cool. It was a fun day. I went to Yard House for the first time. It was so good, from the drinks to the appetizers to the food to the meal. It was so good. I've never been to a restaurant where they had so many margarita options. So that is when I go to dinner and stuff, that is my drink of choice, a margarita. And they had 7 or 8 options on the menu. So I was like, wow. So I tried different ones. My favorite one I had, it was a cucumber jalapeno. And I kept looking at it on the menu. I'm like, should I order that? I'm not sure because I'm not a jalapeno type girl, but I was like, the cucumber might cool it down though. So the cucumber and the jalapeno margarita at Yard House was good. It has a name. I cannot remember the name, but it was so good. For my appetizer, I'm just just going through my whole meal. But for the appetizer, I got a 4-cheese spinach dip. That was good too, fire. Then the entree, I got a burger. It was good. I was just in a mood. I was gonna get a steak, but I was just in a mood for a burger. So I got the burger, and it was so good. So yeah, that was my first time going to Yard House, and it was great. Did that this weekend. I had fun. I did have a fun weekend. had some drinks, and it was cool. That is my weekend recap. So I'm going to talk about Love is Blind. Can we talk about Love is Blind? Okay. Listen. Okay, so the concept of Love is Blind, if you haven't watched it, it is when strangers meet up in these rooms, and they only, like, they're dating, but they're only dating by talking. They're not seeing each other at all. They don't see each other until the end. And so they're in these rooms. They build a connection, and if the connection is strong enough, the man proposes, or even sometimes the woman will propose, okay? But they'll propose, and that's when they see each other after the proposal. They go off and they do these little trips, and just to see if they're really into each other and they're really going to get married. So, but initially, they meet by just talking. So, this is season 2. And I'm like, Love is Blind is just like, I don't know. It started back in quarantine. It's a good dating show, I feel. Like, it's entertaining. I was thinking, I probably could not do Love is Blind because, I don't know, I need to match your face with the name. I don't know. I personally don't think I could. Because the whole concept behind the show is to, like, not judge a person by the way they look and stuff like that. Like, not judgmental at all, but, you know, I personally don't think I could. So the couples on here, I'm trying not to spoil anything because the season is not over. So Netflix released half of the season last week, and they're going to release the other half of the season this week, which I think is tomorrow, Friday. So they're going to release the other half. Just by watching the first half, it's crazy because there's not really a couple on there where I'm like, they're going to make it, which is, like, crazy to say. Like, I think I'm going to wait to talk about it until the other half comes out. So that way that'll give people to watch it, because I don't want to spoil it, but I like Love is Blind. So, but next week, I'm going to be talking more about it. But, okay, I'm going to stop there because I don't want to spoil it. So, I'm going to watch the second half of the season this weekend, and we're going to recap the season next week on next week's show. I didn't even say what this show is, what this episode is going to be about. Sorry. I mean, I know you know what it's going to be about by reading the title, but yeah, I should probably mention it. So, I'm going to be talking about travel essentials and tips, things that I have found that have become super useful for when I have traveled, whether it be overseas or just state to state. Things that I think every person should need or invest in or do when they travel. So before I get into that, I'm going to get into the Black History Icon of the Week. So this week, the icon that I am highlighting is our First Lady, Michelle Obama. Okay. I know she's not our first lady no more. Okay. But I still call her first lady. Like, I still call her first lady because, like, I don't know. Like, because that's just her. She is the first African-American first lady that our country has had. Along with being the first lady, she is an attorney and an author. She became a role model and an advocate for being healthy and higher education. She's from the south side of Chicago and obtained multiple degrees. Okay, so I do remember because when Barack and Michelle, when they were in office, I was in high school majority of the time. And I do remember because she started the Get Moving campaign or whatever, like, just so, like, to stop the obesity of children and teens and stuff. So I do remember going to school because, you know, you had the school lunches or whatever. I do remember going to school and, like, they took out the snack machines, they took out the soda machines. You know, like, sometimes you go to the soda machine, you want to grab a soda, Sprite, juice or whatever, and they took out of at least my school that I went to, they took those away. Like, I just went to school one day and it wasn't no more soda machines, no more snack machines. You weren't getting no Cheetos, Debbie cakes, none of that in the hallway. So I was like, and then even the lunches had changed. Like, it was more healthier options. Back then, as a 16, 17-year-old, I wasn't thinking about eating healthy. I'm like, I want the options that I've been getting. But thinking back, like, being in my position now, like, that's such a good idea. But then I was like, no, I don't want this. So she did start that, which was good. I feel like, looking back, it was a good idea. So yeah, she started the Get Moving campaign. And also, if you haven't read her book called Becoming, it's so motivating and inspirational. So I definitely recommend her book. And we love a good Black author for Black History Month, okay? Like, yes. So, but yeah, I still, like I said, I still call her my first lady. Like, even though she's not, she is. But yeah, so that was the Black History Icon of the Week. I got one more week. Oh man, we only got like one more week. A week and a half. Not even a week and a half. It's like a week and a day. February, like, why do you get Black History Month the shortest month of the year? Like, February is too short, okay? Like, so one more week of the Black History Icon segment. But I really enjoy doing it. Like I said, it's so important to highlight African Americans and all the good things that they do. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the question of the week that I post on my Instagram. Okay, so for the question of the week that I posted this week on my Instagram was, what is your one thing you need when you travel somewhere? One of the responses I got was water and music. Yes, that's essential because water, for one, you get so dehydrated. Your skin gets so dry being up that far up in the air when you're flying. So yes, water definitely essential. They give you water, of course, on the plane, but for me, it's just not enough. Like, I'm like not chugging water because I don't want to be getting up to use the bathroom, but like I'm drinking a good amount of water. And the water that they give you on the plane is not enough, to be honest. And music, yes, you need download a good playlist to your phone, some good songs that you can jam to while on the plane. And another response I got is smell goods. Yes, I can definitely attest to that. I love perfume and body sprays. Those are my favorites. Yes, can't travel without the smell goods. Like, you just can't. And another one I got is Tums. She said I always eat too much. Understandable, because sometimes, like, those, depending on the airport you fly into, they be having some good restaurants. I know Dallas Fort Worth, one of my favorite restaurants is Papados. They got a Papados in the airport, so I'll be in there like, if I got a nice long hour layover, I'm in there getting a meal. Or if it's not long enough for me to sit down and eat, I'm getting a to-go plate. Because yes, so the Tums is understandable, because some of the airports, they be having some good restaurants. Yeah, and then I put up some polls. So one of the polls I did, would you rather travel by car or by plane? Of course, everybody said plane. I figured everybody would. Plane was the winner of that poll. And then I said, would you rather travel to the beach or the mountains? Of course, beach won, because who doesn't want to go to the beach? I know I want to go to the beach. That is a goal this year. I need to get on a couple beaches. I want to go to the Dominican Republic. I've been saying I want to go there. So I don't care. My birthday is at the end of the year, so I don't even care if I make it. I'll make it to my birthday. We making it in 2022. Mark my words. We making it to the DR in 2022. Okay. One of my goals was to travel more, and we travel into the DR. I rather travel by plane because, for one, it's faster. It's more expensive, yeah, but it's the convenience. You can just get on a plane and be somewhere in 3 hours versus like 15 hours. You know, like, because I feel like because it's like a 3-hour plane ride from here to Norfolk, Virginia. From Texas to Virginia, it's like a 3-hour plane ride. That's like a 20-something hour car ride. So, yeah, it's like 3 hours. I'm trying to think. Yeah, when I went, yeah, I want to say it's like a 3-hour plane ride. It might be 4 but that's just a time jump. The time is jumping ahead. But yeah, like, and it might not even be the full 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and like 40 minutes. It's quick from Texas to Virginia. Of course, plane is going to win. Like, yes. Okay, so that was the question and poll of the week. So yeah, I always post these on Sundays. I love getting your feedback. Please keep the responses coming. And I always mention the responses I get on the polls and the questions on my podcast. I love doing this segment. Let me know what you guys think of this segment. Like, I like it. So yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the travel essentials and tips. So, for one, I would say, for the first one, I would say wear a comfy outfit. But I say this, it depends. So I would say wear a comfy outfit anytime. But if you're going somewhere and you have to be, like, if you're going to another city or state and you have to be like cute and ready as soon as you land, then pack your outfit in your carry-on bag. Pack your makeup in your carry-on bag. So it just depends. If you have time, I would say change and do your makeup when you land at the airport. If you don't have time, do your makeup on the plane. I'm sure there's enough lighting. You have like a little, I have this little ring light that attaches to your phone. They have lighting on the plane if it's too dark, but do your makeup on the plane if you have time. If you don't have time, but if you do have time and you have to be somewhere as soon as you land, change and do your makeup in the airport bathroom, because that's what I did. When I went to Atlanta, I wanted to, as soon as I landed, I wanted to get to it. I wanted to start going to brunch. I wanted to go to brunch as soon as we landed because I was so hungry and I was so excited to eat at the Atlanta restaurants. So I changed and I did my makeup while my hair was already done, but I changed and I did my makeup in the airport in Atlanta, like as soon as I landed. So any other time, definitely wear a comfy outfit. Suggest some comfy tennis shoes, some Uggs or something if it's wintertime, some sweatpants, a t-shirt, a sweater, something super easy and comfortable that's not like restraining. And when it comes, so my second tip, when it comes to packing cubes have become like my best friend. I love packing cubes. Like, it's funny because like when people open like if I'm at like my grandma's house or something and my suitcase is like open, she's like, you're so organized. Like, and I'm not like the most organized person, but when it comes to packing, just because like it's so overwhelming for me, and because I always overpack, so having those packing cubes have just like made everything so much easier. Like I pack my outfits, or sometimes I'll have like my bottoms and then I'll have my tops in one cube, my bottoms in another cube, my lounge clothes / night clothes, brown underwear in the other one. It's just so like, just stay organized. And then like, while you're somewhere, if you want to put these dirty clothes in this cube, you can just, it's just so convenient. Like packing cubes is just, it will really keep you organized. If you're not that organized, it will definitely keep you organized. Another tip, number 3, don't splurge on expensive luggage. Don't do it. Because I just had an incident where, okay, so I'm going to say don't splurge on expensive luggage for checking. If you're checking your luggage, just get a regular luggage. Like, don't splurge on expensive, like, Louis Vuitton and Gucci luggage that you're going to check. Don't do that, because they literally messed up my suitcase. Like one of my wheels got broken off. I had to put a claim in because that is how bad they messed up my suitcase. Like, so that's why I'm like, do not splurge on checked luggage. It's like not even worth it because they just treat it like crap. Like it's like they just throw your stuff. I'm like, OMG. Like, so yeah, don't splurge. So if you're gonna splurge on your luggage, I would splurge on like your duffel bag, like your carry-on bag, your little cute carry-on suitcase. Yes, splurge on that. Be cute, do what you want to do. But as far as the checked bag, don't splurge on checked bag because listen, they just be throwing the bag around. They crack it. And sometimes they even go through it. That's another tip. Don't pack expensive things in your checked luggage. That's another tip I have too. So if you have like a super expensive bag or jewelry, I know a lot of people probably know this, but some people don't. Your check bag, your jewelry, your electronics, don't pack that in your checked luggage. Because again, they probably, if you don't have a lock on your luggage, they do sometimes go through your stuff. They do sometimes open it and go through it. I've heard some people got their stuff stolen. Yes. So do not pack expensive things in your checked luggage. Like you will be disappointed. So yeah, that was tip number 4. And of course, number 5, I'm sure everyone knows this, but before going to the airport, get your favorite snacks. Go to the Dollar Tree, Walmart, even though Dollar Tree ain't $1 no more, it's $1.25, but that's another subject for another time. But yeah, go to the store, get your favorite snacks. I'm sure everybody knows this, but just had to include it because sometimes I even forget, and I get to the airport like, dang, I ain't got not a chip, not a nothing in here. So sometimes I have to, because I really like to have a little snack on the plane. So sometimes I like pay freaking $4 for a 50-cent bag of chips. Like, it's so annoying. But so yes, get your snacks before. My next tip, number 6, download your favorite show or movie. Like I said before, download your favorite playlist and download your favorite podcast. So, because you don't have no reception when you're up in the air. So make sure you download all that stuff to your phone. So that way you have like a good show, a good movie, a good playlist, a good podcast, something to listen to, keep you occupied. Because I know for me, I've been flying since I was like, I was young when I got on my first flight. I think I was like 12 or 13 when I got on my first flight. And I still, like, to this day, I hate flying, but I do it. I just hate it. So just to keep my mind off of it, I'm either like listening to some music, watching a movie or a show, or listening to a podcast. Or another tip, bring a book to read. Like I said, I started reading more. So like for my trip home, I was reading my book and I got through a lot of it. Like, it kept my mind occupied because I still get a little anxious when I'm flying. I hate that, but so always have something to keep you occupied. The last tip I have, if you travel a lot, I would invest in TSA PreCheck or Clear or like any other program or way they have that you can skip the security TSA check line. So for military, it's automatic to get a TSA PreCheck. So I automatically get it just by being military. But if I get out of the military, that's something I might invest in because it's so convenient. Like, not having to take off your shoes, not having to take off your shoes, not having to take off your jacket and take everything out of your bag. It's just convenient. So I definitely would invest in the TSA PreCheck. I'm not sure how much it is. I feel like it's like a yearly payment thing. I'm not sure. Or Clear. I feel like my sister has Clear, actually. But they have all kind of different things now to where you can skip the TSA line. So yeah, I would definitely invest in that if you travel a lot because it's so convenient. I have found that it's just like sometimes you could be on the last minute. And I've had these times where I'm on the last minute and just by saving, you save like 20 minutes from the TSA line. Like, yes. So that's definitely something. But this is something if you travel a lot. If you don't travel as much, and probably wouldn't because it'll be kind of a waste of money. But if you travel a good amount, I would definitely invest in that because it's just, like I said, the convenience is everything for it. Okay, so those were my travel essentials and tips. I hope you guys learned something from it. I'm sure there's so much more that I could probably mention, but those are the ones that I thought of. That I wrote down. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of me just, talking. And sometimes I can start rambling, so I try to reel it in and try to get to the point. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening. And don't forget, like I said, I post the questions and the polls on my Instagram every Sunday. So please respond, give me your opinion, give me your responses. I love to mention this on this segment on my show. Yep. And don't forget to follow the podcast and tune back in next week for another episode. Bye.